Oh, thank God. I was highly unprepared. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Horror Conversations, the official podcast and live show covering all things Carolina Fear Fest. So I hope you are here to enjoy. If you got questions, ask them over in the comments and we will answer them at the end. But, of course, I'm joined by the chief demon herself, Stephanie. How are you?
I am doing all right. Just trying to pull it together and, realizing we're like 3 months out. So, starting to feel the pressure a little bit, get more things done.
Oh my God. Yeah. 3 months. That is insane. How much has it ramped up in the last month alone for you?
Oh, a lot. A lot. I don't know. It's kind of this awesome emotional roller coaster where I kind of go with this very laid back, like I've got all the time in the world. We've done this before. Like, we're great. We're golden. Oh, crap. I only have so much time. Like, it's time to get all these things done. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm on top of it. It's not too bad. Or I'll look at something from last year or the year before and I realized I'm actually on time or not later than I was before on things. But it's amazing how fast it sneaks up on you no matter what you do. So
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't even realize it was 3 months, and now I'm freaking out to get prepared. But we have a lot of great people here, and I want to say hi to them real quick. Radar, what's going on? Thanks for joining in, buddy. Chris, always good to see you, my friend. Thank you. And Steve's from Steve's Retro Rewind. Go check that out. It's got to be awesome. I'm telling you. What's up, peoples? We are having fun. We're just on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm doing the best I can.
We all are. We're functioning. Everybody is functioning. That's.
Oh yeah. I mean, if my phone battery can last like 4 hours on like 2%, I bet I can last 4 years. But that is not why we're here. We're here for this year, 2025, Carolina Fear Fest. So I got so right now, you're deep into it with the vendors. You're deep into it with the guests, I'm sure.
Yes.
Is there been any new developments that you can share in terms of guests?
Well, I know we recently announced one of our big ones, which was Malcolm McDowell. I know everybody's like super excited about that. The Clockwork Orange. Somebody actually mentioned, sent a message to me that I guess there's a steel box set for a Clockwork Orange coming out. So, that movie's kind of, I don't know if it's an anniversary year, but it's definitely hitting the memorabilia stage with the new versions coming out. But really excited about his announcement. And I know our email folks found out earlier today, but we have our next announcement is coming out, actually going to hit social on Friday. Ooh. And that is Tyler Levine. So we already announced Kyle. We got the brother Tyler. So, obviously a big one is, Tucker and Dale. It is the big one, but he was on the TV show Reapers. Just amazing.
Reapers was a great show.
Yes. And honestly, it's been out for so long that I swear I watched it, but I can't remember all of it. I'm going to have to dig it out and go find it somewhere streaming and watch it again. So,
his is a face that always pops up, and I appreciate, especially Tucker and Dale. Oh my God, that is such a great movie too. I can't wait to talk to him about that. But it's like, I loved Reapers, but he's popped up. He's in everything. I still see him pop up in everything. So it's going to be great to check him out and be able to see him. So make sure you're getting your tickets, everybody, because Tyler Bean's coming. Malcolm McDowell. That means so much to me. I was his personal assistant at the Florida Film Festival in 2008. And I cannot wait to go up to him and say, "You don't remember me, but I was your personal assistant."
Yeah. So really looking forward to him. We've got, of course, Bill Moseley is coming back after last year's unfortunate incident. We have Alex, Vincent, and Christina Lease. So we've got the two from the Chucky universe coming in. And we will have a Chucky doll that is being brought in by one of our wonderful volunteers that we're going to be allowed to use. So that's going to make those photo ops a lot better at their tables. And of course, we've announced Samantha Mathis, William Catt, and
I'm excited. I love William Catt.
Yeah, I'm of an age. So you say William Catt, and my first thought is Greatest American Hero. But obviously Carrie and House and some other great films and projects out there. We've got 3 more in the hopper ready to announce, and contracts out on our other 4 beyond that. So we're just kind of waiting for those final contracts to come in. We've kind of gotten, like verbal, yes, they're availables, but final checking into calendars and whatnot, schedules to get those contracts back. And I think we're about done. But we're talking to a few others beyond that. So we might tick 1 or 2 over our spot. Our normal line that we like to hit is we like to stick to 15. We don't like to have too many more. If you become one of those cons where you have like 40 guests, the problem is, well, it's a financial one on the cons part, the issue, but it also, I don't know, they tend to flatten each other out, so it is easier to find somebody you really connect with when there's that many options. But
I can tell you
from carbon copy show, we don't want to do the same show year after year. If you have too many guests, you end up having them repeat too often, and that is what that becomes to me, at least.
And we're going to be shooting a meta movie where I have to save all 17 guests by getting a 15 pass van and then choosing 2 to stick around. It's more like an 80s nighttime show, like a Dynasty or a Dallas or something. That's the way they'd end it. Which 2 have to stay. That's an amazing list so far, and you're adding so much more. It's like I don't know, it's like almost like for me it's like an advent calendar. It's because I don't know who all is coming, so like it's like every time it pops up it's great to hear, and this is an amazing lineup. I cannot wait for this.
I'm really excited about the rest of them that we have, but we're basically only announced about half our people at this point. So, we've got quite a few more to come, and we're really excited about a few of those. So I think people are going to be very happy. Already some plans lining up for next year too. So usually I'm not that far ahead of the game, but there's a few that are tougher to get schedule wise. And so we're jumping on those quickly, as quickly as we can. But yeah, I mean, again, trying not to be that same show every single year.
No, you guys kill it every year.
You keep a lot of the things in place that, that people really love, but you try and swap some things out and do things differently. I know we're working on our gaming section. The retro gaming guys are coming back that
Nice.
had the console and PC based, some different games they had. They're expanding their area a little bit, and I believe bringing out extra titles over what they were last year. So there'll be extra seats and a few more things to do there, and working with another VR group to come out, and some tabletop things, and trying to make sure our gaming area is still well fleshed out. So there's stuff to do.
Which was an amazing part of it last year. That was so much fun. I got to check out Nope up on the stage when we introduced it. And then just seeing the actual entire gaming area where people could go sit, just play with each other, have a good old time, all different type of tabletop games and card games and stuff like that. That was a great addition. I'm so glad you guys did that, because there's such a great horror tabletop base.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a few new ones that are coming out that we know of that we've been reaching out to see if they want to come out and demo, even if they're still kind of at Kickstarter stage, or just releasing, and see what they want to do. Because especially wherever we can introduce something that maybe you haven't seen before. But yeah, the gaming area is fabulous. If you only come out to a con of this size for one day, you don't have time to do everything. You just don't have the time to sit and play games for the most part. Not very much.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that's coming out for the weekend, that is a great way to break up your day, with the stage and the gaming area right in the middle of the event. So you can just go, I need a drink, I need to sit, I need to just relax for a few minutes, go through the photos I've taken, relook at the schedule, plan the rest of my day, whatever the case is. And so it's nice to have those spots to do that.
It was very nice for me having to run back and forth from place to place trying to work on stuff, and having a place to sit.
Absolutely.
But I would love to get into some of those games, because they looked like they were a lot of fun. I saw a lot of people really having a good time.
Yeah. We're again really, really looking forward to all of that. Some of the other programming, I mean, we're trying to expand that as much as we can. We have a new group coming on board that she is going to do some panels for us, and they're part of the Rhine Paranormal Research in Durham. And it is a facility that does a lot of web-based classes and groups and different things that they do, all web-based and kind of Zoom, so people from everywhere. But they also do in-person actual paranormal research. So like full-on Ghostbusters with the car at the very beginning with the cards, but not electrocuting people in a very sexist kind of a way. But that's the kind of research. And she actually does some quick, almost a gamified version of some of that research, so people will get to actually play a little bit. But she's got the parapsychology, more the science side of a lot of that research, that is going to make for some very interesting panels to add into some of our other paranormal track stuff that we normally do, that we've been doing the last few years, and everybody really seems to like that. We're actually adding a cryptid panel it's on the list for this year. So and again, also all the Q&As and the
there's so
fun
many
time with the celebs, and so it again, trying to just keep it the kind of thing that's a little bit of everything for everyone. So that's always fun, for sure.
Yeah, and that is going to be great, and that's a lot of awesome stuff to add on to it, because I know a lot of people, I talked to a lot of people about the paranormal and the demonology panels and the things like that, and they were so into it. So adding more of that element, I think is a great move towards what you're trying to do and accomplish throughout the entire horror communities, not just directly towards movies and such. And I'm a movie guy, so that hurts to say, but it's true. And
I mean, there's always so many different angles. Some people are all about the books. They just, they're big horror readers. But that doesn't mean that they also don't enjoy the movies. Or there's people that are just big movie buffs who really enjoy the art, or they want to sit in on some of the paranormal discussions. So, hopefully there's a really good mix across the board of different things for people to do and take advantage of. So.
Oh, and the panels are always a lot of fun. Last year, I don't know if they were staggered the same way as previous years, because my mind doesn't work the way it used to. It just seems like it works really well. Like nothing really too heavily overlapped. I didn't hear that complaint a lot. Whereas like in previous years.
Yeah, try and keep everything sort of starting and stopping at the same time as much as I can. But you do have some programming options or like some of the film fest slots, things like that, that will go over that hour.
Oh yeah.
So, sometimes everything gets a little bit mixed up, but I like to keep it the same because I don't want people sitting there going, I really want to do this thing at 1 p.m., but I also really want to do this thing at 1:30. So do I leave this thing early or go late to that, or what do I do? If people are going to try and maximize their day, I want to make that as easy as possible.
Yeah, and honestly, the film festival, I love, again, movie guy, so I love film festivals, and last year's was so much fun, being able to sit and talk, with a lot of the filmmakers and such, and meet them. But I will tell you, this year, it seems like it's gearing up a little bit more. How do you feel about it? How are you feeling about the entry so far? Have you seen anything yet?
I've only watched one or two of the shorts. I haven't had time to really sit down and watch all of them. But I know my husband's watched everything, so he's told me about a few of them. I have noticed that the submissions have rolled in the last few days. We've actually gotten a handful more. So, I think we have a good number of selections that are in there. So
very nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And now, okay, so we talk guests. Now, vendors. I hope there's no big changes to sort of the path, but is sort of the path you laid out last year, because I loved it. But is there any big changes with vendors or anything that are going on?
No, besides we are expanding our tattoo area, so there will be more. Last year we did the one as sort of a trial, see how the tattoos went over. It went over very well. We've opened that up now and have a handful of booth spaces, and we have a couple of tattoo shops coming out. So there's a little bit more options there. Other than that, I mean, we do have a good number of new vendors, new for us. They haven't been with us previously that have signed up. So, I think there's a few, interesting ones that are now in the mix. Most of your favorites that are there every year, those folks are coming back. So, yeah, I think it'll have a little bit of a different vibe because every year things kind of change. But layout wise on the floor, I expect it to be the same or very similar. When we get closer and we start to kind of max out our number on the vendors, we can actually start laying it out on the floor plan itself. And that's where I might make some changes as far as some of those cross aisles, or will I group together? But I like that front half and back half because it's really easy to have kind of shopper fatigue. So if you're going through the vendor area and there's just nothing to break up the aisle after aisle after aisle, it's overwhelming. And I think a lot of people kind of shut down, and they then tend to just sort of skirt the whole thing and avoid it. So having it be in the front with a little bit of that stage and gaming area to kind of get that breather, and then additional shopping again before you get all the way to the back where the celebrities are. It's nice. It's just kind of, it's broken up into smaller, more easily digestible chunks, so you don't get too overwhelmed.
Oh, I was wondering, because I was wondering, do you guys do an artist alley? And is that something that if you don't, maybe you'd be interested in like introducing, like just one area where it's like all the artists together? Or will they kill each other? I don't know.
No, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, I don't like the department store layout of a lot of cons where you're like, all the artists are here and all the authors are here and all. Now I like it, like, explore. You're going to find something you weren't expecting to find. So if you're not normally looking for art, I don't want you to have a whole aisle. You go, I don't want art, and skip it. Where if you stumble across somebody that you might just absolutely fall in love with. So I like it to be more mixed up. I also hate the artist alley concept from a lot of cons where it's a cheaper entry point for the artist, which I appreciate. They do that without the pipe and the drape, and they don't have as large of a space. So then what you end up with is everybody kind of shoved together, table after table after table, and then they're back to back and you have rows of that. And because without the pipe and drape, it's like a giant yard sale. You can just kind of like look past everything, and now it's even more overwhelming because you're seeing into other aisles at the same time. It's just too much. So I like it more broken up. But
hey, I think that's a great idea. I never thought about it from that point.
and once you acknowledge that, recognize that, it's hard to not stand in a con and go, I hate the aesthetic of this entire area. It's like it's ugh, don't like it.
Now I can't even imagine, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I'm thinking about art we bought last year from the con, and how we wound up seeing it. Like, you know, walking past and like looking at one thing and then like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, you are absolutely right. Like, that worked so much better than just walking. I bought so much more, and I can confirm that.
And it's hard when they're just shoved so close together that when you're walking through, half the time you can't tell what belongs to which table because they're literally shoved right on top of each other.
Yeah, I liked how you did it with the corner. It was almost like quick corners.
Yeah, so we've got corners, but everything's got the pipe and the drape and the separation of the space. Now we are adding a podcasters, independent filmmakers, and authors. So those are groups that we do want to offer that easier, lower cost price point, and I can put them in without the pipe and drape, so we can offer that to them. But I'm running them along a wall, so there is no like look through their space and into the next space. And I'm setting them up with a table, but a little bit of buffer space between each one. So it's just not just a row of tables. But we have authors that come out and they literally are like, here's the 3 books in this series, and I'm writing this 4th one where like is coming out soon. Dude, you've got that in like one signed banner. What do you need a big 10 by 10? Their space ends up feeling sad when they're mixed in with these people that have racks and all this stuff. So I think it'll be a nicer balance point for those folks as well. But
all right, little professional tip, little pro tip for you when you're there. Don't do what I did and face outwards and with your microphone facing the wall, because you're going to get all of the sound off the wall. Now people have come to and grown accustomed to me facing out so I can talk to them. So now I just kind of just do what I do. But I would, if you're going to do a podcast, maybe turn those mics out to the crowd. And you know, get that nice ambiance. But it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Like, that's going to be fun. I like Podcast Alley. You know, that's my jam. Like, I'll go right down and say I did. You know me. But yeah,
so
this is. I think that's a good addition.
Another big thing that we're doing is we should be announcing it soon, but it looks like everything's been, you know, kind of figured out. We're just kind of on the last little details and making sure everyone's good, and then we'll be announcing that we are bringing out what we're calling our Con Hopper Pass, like a park hopper at an amusement park. And that's going to be a joint weekend pass, a single ticket that you go on and buy either on our ticket portal or on an Animazement's through their ticketing. And then that pass is good for both events for the entire weekend. So this way, like when we were talking about panels and schedules and trying to plan your whole weekend out, you'll be able to look at both events. Somebody that wants to go to certain things at Animazement or wants to spend time at both, they don't have to dedicate a whole day to one event and potentially miss out on programming that they want at the other one. So now they can kind of bounce back and forth a little bit, which will be really good. I know there's people that are having to make concessions for themselves for which event, and this will open things up, especially because I know Animazement has a lot of after hours things that they may want to take advantage of.
Which one is that one? The other one?
That's Animazement, which is the Japanese culture and anime convention. It runs the same weekend as us, and they're at the Raleigh Convention Center downtown. So I know that there's an overlap. There are people that love to go to Animazement because they've got their costuming or panels and activities over there that they like to be involved in, but they're also horror fans and they want to meet some of our celebs, that kind of thing. So I know people have had a little trouble trying to decide which event to do. And what we've decided to do is work together and offer a pass that is cheaper than getting two separate weekend passes. Or honestly, it's almost the same price as a single day. Like if you wanted to just dedicate Sunday after getting the weekend for the other one, you almost come out the same to just have the joint pass. That way you can go Animazement. I want to go to their activities Thursday night. There's a celeb I want to meet, or I've got a photo op at Fear Fest. I'm going to go over there and start off Saturday morning, but I'm bouncing back to Animazement later that afternoon, and they can go back and forth.
Nice. That's a good deal.
Both schedules and figure it out. So
that's a very cool deal that you guys are working out on that. And one thing I did want to ask, what about the cars? Are you going to bring any cars back?
Not planning to this year.
Okay.
I do have a couple of calls out for some folks that have been with us before that maybe, but it won't be like the whole Hell on Wheels, like a whole big area that we're planning for this year.
You want me to bring the Mick Mobile? Bring it in.
SUV? Station wagon? What are we at? Minivan? So got the wood panel down the side.
Just be where I'll parked all weekend long. I'm not even going to wash it.
But yeah, so, but you know, like I said, trying to make things different and add on to stuff. And we're still working out a lot of the details on everything. So, I mean, I did just find out that the Rhine normally does tours, but they won't be doing the Memorial Day weekend. So we won't be able to offer up special tours at the Rhine that weekend. But, you know, it might be something that in future years we can add on as far as some of that additional programming stuff at night. But we're still working on some ghost hunts, like actual investigations, ghost walking tours. I gotta go.
You got to send me on one with my cameras.
And we've got the seances that we're trying to get seances rolling at a bar downtown. Still waiting on a lot of those details, but we are, you know, definitely trying to
scary.
add on.
I want all of the scary. Put me in, Coach.
You know, I mean, realistically, it's May. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to go, it's all horror, like we're going for a horror con weekend. What do you do at 6 p.m. on Saturday when we've closed our show floor? You can't keep on theme unless you have other things that we're providing, because you don't have those opportunities else, you know, otherwise.
If
our Saturday night party is coming together. So
if you're me at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, you're racing back to your hotel to put on a mediocre circus jacket and top hat that pales in comparisons to literally everyone else there. And then they have to host the show.
Hey, you know what? I'm hoping that I just finally have enough time to actually put on an actual costume. But yeah, I mean, our party, those tickets should be going up soon. That Saturday night party we're planning an 80s themed murder mystery. So
yep. Why do you think my hair looks like goddamn Mark Hamill's in Star Wars? And I'm only going longer, baby.
I was on a Temu-like site in the last couple of days recently, and stumbled across $2 rainbow leggings. I totally went, I don't even know what I'm wearing, but in the cart. I'm getting those. They're in the cart. Party Cities are closing. Go to the Party Cities. They have
90% off right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you can get all the 80s party vibe stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go buy some shitty hairspray and I'll have something. I have enough military ball gowns. I can recycle something and put some blood on it. I'm good. I'll
get your tickets for that Saturday night. First of all, Saturday night party is always fun, except for the first one for me, but only me. I was sick. Had nothing to do with the place.
You ate the same thing Troy James did because he was sick too. Yeah, I don't know where you guys went and ate, but oh yeah.
Oh no, that year I was good. He wasn't. I feel bad. I just saw him in a movie actually. recently, and it just made me think of, yeah, I just thought about Twisty Troy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And as soon as I saw his name, I was like, ah, I know him. And I wish I had seen that movie, which came out a month before Carolina Fear Fest last year, so I could have talked about it because I liked it a lot. But anyway, let's get
I just went by the state fair yesterday because we had a meeting. We're adding in some new security measures, so we were talking about exactly our front end logistics of where we were putting check-in and box office and all the things, and the new metal detector detection walkthrough. Like, we're adding in all the things. We're layering that in, but I kept having, while I was waiting for them to meet me over there, I kept having random guys come up to me and go, so where are we meeting? I don't know you, but what are you talking about? Find out, oh, the builder meeting, the building meeting, the construction meeting, not me. So once they showed up, I'm like, okay, I see the scaffolding and I see the thing, stuff's going on. Please, like, fill me in.
Yeah.
So the only thing that they're doing to the building that we're in is they have completely wrapped the inside of the building because they are completely redoing the roof. And so they have a whole dust barrier up so that they're doing this like roof in stages. So they're not leaving it open to the elements, but any dust they're creating is getting caught so they can still have events on the inside. So that's happening. And they just did the new HVAC stuff like a couple of years ago. So that's been good. So they don't have any other, to my knowledge, major renovation-y things happening. But the fairgrounds is doing some major work. Like, they have got some new bathrooms they've put up, which are good for their more outdoor events and the fair itself. But they also have, and I don't believe it's going to be open this year, but by our show in 2026, they have a whole, like a food court like series of buildings that'll have a bunch of little restaurants in it, and those will be open all year long, which means that during our weekend there will be other food that is just right across the parking lot. So that'll be fun. Open up some options there too.
Yeah, give people a chance to like walk outside. I know it gets hot, but like it was still like you could take a walk, go get something to eat, sit in the shade over on by the trees and such. Like that will definitely add a lot to the experience, I think.
Yeah, sometimes just to be able to walk outside and just kind of like
yeah, that's for sure. No, I say, like, I mean, everything's coming together. It seems like you're going to kill it for year 6. Is there any final thoughts you want to leave us with before, or any advice you would give it to anybody watching before I get to the comments?
I don't have, I wish I had more final details on everything, but I promise I'm digging my way out of my exhaustion hole and putting more things out there. I should be putting up photo ops soon. I just usually like to have more celebs announced before I start dropping those out there. But
you did enough tonight.
Working on, trying to get all those things together. And hopefully in one of these conversations, I'll be able to stop saying we're working on all of these things. And I can actually tell you that they're done and they're confirmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely lots of good things in the works.
I mean, listen, I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I have some inklings of what's coming up, everybody. So you're going to want to get your tickets. You can get your weekend passes. It's going to be starting a little bit earlier this year. So you're going to want to make sure you come on Friday as well. It's going to be a really great time. I'm super stoked, especially with all the supernatural elements being added to it. And guys, just make sure you get your tickets and let's go down and have some fun. But overall, let's see some of your comments before we get David Howard Thornton. I'm not going to say anything. We don't know anything yet. Oh, well, she knows.
No, I can tell you we're not bringing in David. There's a couple of people we've been chatting with that have been in Terrifier, but we're unfortunately not bringing in the big guns this year. They're all at Texas right now that same weekend, so they're already booked anyway. So,
but I'll be there. Steve says Tucker and Dale's great, definitely underrated. He's funny in Super Troopers. Oh, that's right, he was in Super Troopers too, and the Cottage Country also. Greatest American Hero, William Catt will be there. That's right. Get your autographs, get your pictures. There is such a thing as too many. This is my Horror Christmas. I love it. Last year was so amazing. Great lineup. And the new floor plan is amazing. Yeah, year 5 was great. Looking forward to year 6. Love it. Year 666. I think you're onto something. Who you gonna call? They say Mick Manhattan. Yeah, maybe if you want movie theories and stuff like that. Filmmaking tips, I can give you those. Can't wait to see you all again soon. Radar, it's great to see you. And Chris, great to see you too. Steve, thank you so much for joining in. Stephanie, thank you so much for all the information tonight. You can check back, follow us, subscribe here on the channel, and you will see Horror Conversations come up. We will be back again next month, and then we're going to be kicking in high gear with 2 a month until we get started. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you check back for that. And until next time, thank you again, Stephanie, the lovely Stephanie. And thank you guys all for watching and supporting. Take care. Well, I hit the wrong button.